Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Fall into DigCit Week live stream. I am so thrilled with how today's sessions are going, and we are starting off our first of two partner spotlight sessions. So the InLearning Partnership has teamed up with Common Sense Education to create a session that's really about keeping that digital balance in your life, as we know we all need. I have no digital chill. I will just tell you, I'm always surrounded by screens and I am ever connected. But Jennifer Ehehalt from Common Sense Education, she's a regional manager with them, also a former elementary teacher and a lover of Reese's Pieces and Reese's Peanut Butter Cups in her Halloween bowl. She's going to keep us balanced on this tightrope that we walk every day with too much or not enough technology. Jennifer, thank you so much for being here.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me. Happy Digital Citizenship Week.
And same to you. I feel like we should exchange presents for digital.
I know, right? I know. I love that idea.
All right, well, I'm going to put your screen up there and let you take over.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. All right. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Social Emotional Learning in Digital Life, which is all part of our media balance, our healthy relationships, setting boundaries, and really taking hold of what we're doing and seeing online every day. So it is Digital Citizenship Week. So happy DigCit Week. We have our hashtag going. If anybody are you on Twitter and want to hashtag things, at Common Sense Ed is our Twitter handle. And we have at Keep Indiana Learning. They have a handle and my handle as well. So without further ado, let's get started. If you're not familiar with Common Sense Media or Common Sense Education, we really are on a mission to build a more healthy, equitable, and empowering future for all kids in the digital age. We do this by providing tons of resources around digital citizenship, skills, habits, dispositions, content, and resources. So we are celebrating digital citizenship this week, October 18th to the 22nd, but I also want to encourage and beyond. We are in day 4 of the week, and so please know that there's no hurry in getting all of this in and done by tomorrow. This can be ongoing. We hope it's ongoing, so make sure you find that out there. So real quick, in the next 20 minutes, I want to make sure that I'm equipping you with some takeaways, some actionable items that you can try tomorrow, next week, and beyond. So first of all, we're really going to discuss a little bit about social emotional learning and what it means in digital life. We're also going to explore some digital life resources. Common Sense Education has a resource hub full of K-12 activities for all of our learners when it comes to media balance, social emotional wellness, and beyond. And then we're going to plan, how can we use these things with our students? So I want to make sure you have a couple of implementation ideas as well. So we have 6 topic areas that we take a look at when we look at our K-12 curriculum. So our curriculum is free, downloadable, turnkey resources. So you can see you'll have media balance and well-being as an entire topic area. We have digital footprint and identity. We have cyberbullying, digital drama and hate speech, privacy and security, relationships and communicating, and that last but not least, news and media literacy. And so we'll want to make sure that you can check those out as well when it comes to finding content for your classroom. So let's define what SEL in digital life really is. Social and emotional learning in digital life really refers to the skills and dispositions that students develop to navigate the unique dilemmas that technology brings to their lives. So from learning to regulate their emotions when using devices to leveraging social media for nurturing healthy relationships. So I like to put that out there so we're all on the same page when it comes to this term, this definition, and where all this fits in. So I want to ask all of you, what are some social and emotional learning challenges that your students are experiencing with technology? So whether you're an elementary educator, elementary administrator, secondary, middle school, no matter what your role is in this education platform, I would love for you to just share in the chat, what are some of these, challenges that are going on? I'll give you a second to throw those out there. And as you're thinking about those challenges, I want us to take a quick look at the framework around social emotional learning in a digital citizenship setting. So that first column you see here is self-awareness. And this is really, understanding different cues, identifying red flag feelings when you're reading or seeing something that makes you uncomfortable, and then also reflecting on how social media impacts that personal identity. Next, there is self-management, right? And so this is, balance, the self-discipline, the managing your emotions when it comes to media. Does it make you feel good when you're, connecting online with others, reading, consuming? Also making sure that you're setting goals to achieve a healthy media balance. So making sure your relationships online are all very positive and healthy. Understanding how to set those boundaries of when to shut things down, when to turn it off, set that timer, right? Set the timer, turn off notifications when appropriate. So that's all part of that self-management, self-control. That next one is responsible decision-making. So we want to make sure we're developing curiosity and open-mindedness, but we want to make sure that we're also evaluating positive and negative impacts of being online, because we all know that I think we tend to hear more of the negative, more of the bad, more of the wrong. And I know there's lots of very positive things out there. Take DigCit Week, for example. I can't believe the things being shared on Twitter right now with that hashtag DigCit Week with, templates, Spirit Week ideas, podcasts, lessons, implementation ideas. So it's a really great way to share information. And then just to use technology responsibly, right? Whether it's for yourself, your family, your community, or your world. And then the next one is relationship skills. And so maintaining those healthy relationships when communicating online, de-escalating digital drama, and supporting their peers when, they're coming across some of that digital drama or cyberbullying or hate speech. So those relationship skills are really important, and they start at the earliest ages. And how do we get our students to understand how to respond, in a moral way, in an ethical way, to different perspectives that they're seeing? And that brings us to social awareness, right? We all understand there's different perspectives out there. We also know it's okay to disagree, right? Sometimes, learning other perspectives teaches us something, but how do we get kids to respond in a way that makes everybody feel good? All parties involved, showing concerns about others, and identifying the norms of their online communities, which we have a few lessons around that. It's important to build those online communities, whether, you're in your classroom or in your social spaces online. So I wanted to take us through a quick look at our elementary, middle, and high school. Now, I know this actually hurts my eyes too. I know, I understand. But I wanted to just give you a snapshot of some entry points into our lessons and how easy they can be. So these are for elementary school. I have that up right now. I have a middle school and I have a high school version. And what we did was for each day of the week, so Monday through Friday, we took those daily themes I just went through. So self-awareness, self-management, responsible decision-making, relationship skills, and social awareness. And we tied a 15-minute curriculum activity to that theme. So you can pull out the K2 and the 3-5 content area, the subject areas. There's discussion questions that go along with like the 2 to 3 minute video. Really engaging, super fun. And then we also had where the column shows foster student reflection and creation. This is where you could take the lesson further, take the content further, the discussion further, get your kids to be creating, pictures, comic strips, stories, storybooks, all that fun stuff that they like to do offline. Or we also incorporated a couple of digital tools for you to check out as well. And we don't want to forget about our families either. So we make sure we have engaging conversations, discussions, handouts, things like that for families, so you can share those at home. So this happens to be the elementary. I'm going to just quickly show up the middle school. All laid out the same way, just the SEL activity is different. And a lot of them, have to do with digital habits, media balance, and well-being. And then the high school. And so I just wanted to take a deeper dive into the quick activities so you get a chance to see what they're like. And so saying goodbye to technology, this happens to be out of our K2 lessons. So all my elementary educators out there, this happens to be self-management, right? And so digital life. And so sometimes for our littlest learners, it's hard for them to get off their device, right? And so there's really cool ways to walk through some scenarios with some habits to put into place. So, we have a video that goes along with this, and it teaches the students a song, and it's all about, pause, breathe, and finish up. And it goes to music, and, kids can dance to this, they can act out the motions. So once they go through this, there's scenarios throughout the lesson that teachers can go through. So Legs happens to be the green guy you see there on that screen. He's one of our digital citizenship characters. He's playing a math game on a table, and the teacher says it's time to clean up and get ready for recess. But Legs wants to still play, and he's feeling frustrated. And so that whole idea of getting our students to say pause, breathe, take a breath, and finish up. And they posters can go along with this. And we know at the K2 level, even the 3-5 level, routine, repetition, all of those things play a very important role in keeping them, in a social emotional learning environment that's healthy and positive. So that's the K2. And then they have handouts that go along with our activities. So saying goodbye to technology, we would love for you to draw a picture of the pause, breathe, and finish up routine, and then write a word or a sentence that explains your picture. Kids love doing this. They get really involved in it. So really fun ways to do that. I also wanted to do just a quick middle school, high school snapshot here. And so within our curriculum, we have what we call thinking routines. What is a thinking routine? So it's really putting digital citizenship skills into practice. So what we're trying to do at Common Sense is move away from a consequence-based approach to, online digital drama, things that they're seeing and doing. So some of those bad choices, instead of, taking it away, shutting it down, let's be proactive about this and go through and walk through these scenarios together and see what outcomes make everybody feel good. So the thinking routines have 3 different areas. The digital habits checkup. So thinking through, even for now, your own digital habits, right? Do you feel good about, the screen time that you have during the day, the time you're spending offline, doing hobbies and activities that you enjoy? The second one is feelings and options. And so this is really about, social and emotional skills and making thoughtful decision-making for digital dilemmas. And we're going to go through one in a second here. And then the last one is take a stand. So it's a thinking routine for exploring perspectives on digital dilemmas about community and civic life. And so those are really great too to walk through students with. So the feelings and option routine, the first step is identify. You want to identify the people involved in, the dilemma, the scenario, and then also identify the challenge that they're facing. So you can bring the students together and really discuss this aloud, create an environment that makes them feel safe around discussing their perspectives on these topics and dilemmas. So feel, what do you think each person in the dilemma is feeling? Why might the situation be hard or challenging for them? So getting everyone to think about everybody, that's involved in the dilemma. And then imagine options for how the situation could be handled. So this is where you want to think about outcomes. Is it bringing everyone together face to face and really talking out why they shouldn't have done that, or how they made them feel when that happened, or maybe taking down, the dilemma, the photo, the story, the video, whatever is causing, this to become a dilemma and making people uncomfortable. And then the say is around thinking more about the idea you chose for handling the situation and what could people involved say to make everybody, walk away feeling good. So these thinking routines are embedded throughout a lot of our lessons at the middle school and high school, even the K5 as well, but it really picks up in the 6-12 lessons. And so these thinking routines, I know I've taken myself through some of them as well. Just kind of, it's almost like that. Think before you post, right? Let's think through this. Let's see how this is going to impact everybody. And, we're all going to make mistakes, and that's okay. But, the way we deal with those mistakes is what's impactful. So here's a middle school. This is social awareness, dealing with digital drama. There's a video, and then there's discussion questions. Those discussion questions actually go, back to the thinking routine I just took you through. And then the high school, this is relationship skills. So friendships and boundaries online, making sure that those students are starting to really feel good about the healthy relationships that they're, creating online. And if they're not so healthy, what to do with them, how to handle them, setting those boundaries so that when they, participate in online situations and in social media platforms, they feel good about themselves and have a positive experience. And then we also have, I just threw in an example here real quick for the family outreach piece, because we want to make sure we're engaging families in these conversations as well. So we have, this happens to be an example for 912. We also have middle school and elementary school too. These are conversation starters for families. I mean, how neat are these? They're like little note cards that you can just take around, keep in your back pocket, and have these discussions, on the way to practice, taking a walk, at the dinner table, cleaning up the kitchen, all those teachable moments. And so these are really great, just giving yourself a question as a family or a parent or caregiver and really listening to what the child's saying. And if what they're saying is really guiding what you want to hear, if not, we give you some advice here on these cards to pivot the conversation. So they're starting to think in a way that, feels good to meet you and your family values and, the school culture and so on. So I know I gave you a lot of information in a little bit of time, but I just wanted to make sure you knew that we have so many great resources that are turnkey, easy to implement, K through 12, along with the family engagement piece as well. So I can't thank, the Indiana Learning Partnership for this time to share all of our wonderful content with you. And I know you'll be excited for the next up session with Andrea Brinkert in the Fall into DigCit session.
Amazing. Thank you, Jennifer. What a treat to have you here with us. That was some powerful information. I love that.
It was quick.
it was quick, but man, those are great. I mean, there were some really cool posts in the comments, amazing resources. What a great way to plan Digital Citizenship Week. In particular, the slides were like gold dust sprinkled all over because we need that type of information. Are those slides available for us to access?
Yes, I wanted to make sure that you had access to those. I'm so used to usually throwing stuff in the chat. To be honest, it's been a busy day. It's been a busy week. But yes, I will make sure that the slide deck is shared out. Everything I showed you in the slide deck is linked out to the resource on our website. So yes,
that would be perfect. I mean, we really loved some of the family engagement you were talking about. That's huge. They have to hear it from everybody that's important to them, see it modeled, and we need to take that advice as well so that we're modeling quality digital citizenship balance. I know I've got an 11-year-old at home that watches every move I make to make sure that I'm doing what I say and saying what I do.
They do watch, don't they? I mean, they call you out too. They are not afraid to call you out if they
as they should, right? Like
they should. But gosh darn it. It's like,
don't you hate it when they're right?
I know you hate it when they're right. No, this was great. And I will be sure, yes, half the gold is the deck. So
yeah, you may have listened out, share it with me, share it all around. We'll record this. I'll stick it in the description for the YouTube recording. We'll put it everywhere. Thank you so much, Jennifer. What a treat to have you here today. Join us back here in about 10 minutes. We've got Andrea Brinkert from Capstone. She's going to share with us a little more about those ebooks and publishing online content. And we'll pick it up then. Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.